I could hardly contain my excitement as I waited outside the school dates for my mom to pick me up. My friends were all excited for me too.
I can't believe you're finally going to see your mom. I know she's only been away a year, but it seems like forever.
I know, right? I'm so happy. I've really missed her.
Yeah, I know you've spoken to her every day, but it's not the same as having your mom there, is it? I can't imagine how I'd feel if my mom had to go away for a year. Anyway, she's back now, and in a few minutes, you'll get to see her.
I looked down the road trying to see if I could see her car coming. My stomach had butterflies and my heart was beating like mad. Come on, Mom, hurry up. Suddenly, this random woman walked up to me, put her arms around me, and gave me a big hug.
Hello, darling.
Who are you?
Marcia, what do you mean, who am I? I'm your mom.
My mouth fell open in shock. It was definitely my mom's voice. I would recognize that anywhere. But this woman looked nothing like my mom. I could hear my friends sniggering and whispering to each other.
God, she looks crazy. Have you seen how much plastic surgery she's had? I know, she looks so fake. Why would she do that to herself? She looks so weird.
My friends were right. My mom was unrecognizable. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't believe she would have had all that work done to herself. But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't end up with a psycho mom like mine. I just wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. So I pushed my mom into the car and jumped in beside her. I tried to block out the sounds of my friends and everyone else laughing, but it was impossible. As soon as we pulled away from the school gates, I started laying into my mom. What have you done to yourself?
What do you mean?
Are you serious? You've completely changed your appearance. I didn't even know you were my mom.
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Marcia. Sure, I've had a bit of work done, but I'm only trying to maintain my looks.
A bit of work? You've got to be joking. Have you looked in the mirror?
You're over-exaggerating now.
No, I'm not. All my friends could tell what you've done. Oh, God, it's so embarrassing. I just don't understand why you would want to do it.
Because I want to look young. No one wants to look old and wrinkly, do they?
But you've gone too far. Sure, an odd facial here and there, some good face cream, that's normal. But what you've done is far from normal.
Well, I think I look good.
We drove the rest of the way home in complete silence. So much for the happy reunion I was looking forward to. As soon as we got home, I ran into the house, pushing past my dad on the way, and stormed up to my room.
Marcia, what's the matter? What's going on?
I tried to ignore my dad, but he wouldn't let it go.
Come on, Marcia. Come back down and talk about whatever it is that's bothering you.
I went back down the stairs and told my dad what I was angry about. It's her!
Who?
Mom?
Why? What's wrong with Mom? Have you two had a fight?
Just look at her! Don't tell me you haven't noticed what she's done to herself.
I think she looks great.
You're kidding me, aren't you? It's like she went abroad and came back a different person.
No, I'm serious. I don't think your mom has ever looked better.
I couldn't believe that my dad was happy with the way she looked. You're probably just happy because she's got big boobs now. After those final words, I stormed back up to my room, slamming the door behind me. I laid on my bed and started ranting to myself. I was so mad with my mom. I started shaking with anger. How am I going to face anyone at school? I'm going to be a laughingstock. Oh God, my life couldn't be any worse right now. The first day back at school was awful. Every time I walked into a room, everybody suddenly stopped talking and just stared at me. I knew they were whispering about my mom. Of course, my friends didn't say anything. They tried to reassure me, but I knew they were lying.
She doesn't look that bad, Marcia. You know, everyone will soon get used to it and find something else to gossip about.
But I knew the only way to get them to stop talking and laughing about my mom was to keep her out of sight. So from that moment on, I made sure never to let my friends see me with my mom. I could tell that she was a bit upset not to be spending time with me, but it was her own fault. I told her I didn't want her picking me up from school anymore.
But why not, Marcia? We have so much time to make up for.
I like walking home with my friends.
Oh, okay then. If you're sure.
I am. Whenever she asked me to go out for dinner with her or to the shops, I always came up with some excuse or another. "Oh, sorry, I've got plans." Or, "I have so much homework to catch up on. You and Dad just go." And my friends were right. After a while, people stopped talking about my mom and found other stuff to gossip about. My life went back to normal, and I tried to forget about what my mom had done to herself. But then, one night, things blew up again. We were sitting having dinner together at home when Mom started talking about doing some more surgery.
I'm thinking of getting a rib removed. It will make my waist smaller.
I shook my head when I heard what she said. "You can't do that. That's crazy."
No, it isn't. All the celebrities get it done. And look how good they look.
"You are insane." I was so angry I jumped up, knocking my chair to the floor, and at the same time spilling a glass of water all over the table. "That's enough now. You're going too far. I'm not going to let you do this to yourself."
What do you mean you're not going to let me? I can do whatever I want.
"You can't do this. It's the most stupid idea I've ever heard."
Marcia, I am having this surgery done whether you like it or not.
You make me so mad. I can't talk to you about this anymore. I stormed out of the room and upstairs to my bedroom. As I lay on my bed, I couldn't stop thinking about what my mom was planning to do. I have to find a way to get her to stop doing all these crazy things to herself. Suddenly, it was like a light bulb had gone off in my head. I knew what I had to do. I decided I would devise a plan to trick my mom into not doing any more crazy surgeries or injecting anything into herself. I started searching through the internet, and finally I found what I was looking for. It was an advert for a company that hired out actors for any role you wanted them to perform. I contacted them and organized for someone to play a fake doctor. Then I found an office space to hire for a day. Once it was all set up, I told my mom all about it. "Mom, you know what? I owe you an apology."
What for?
"For trying to stop you from getting the surgery. I've thought about it, and you are right. It's your body, and you can do what you want with it."
I'm so happy to hear you say that, Marcia. I don't like fighting with you all the time.
"Well, we're not going to fight anymore. In fact, I've even done some research, and I found the best doctor to perform your surgery."
Wow, that's great. Thank you, darling.
"And that's not all. I've set up an appointment with him, and I'm going to come with you for it."
Oh, darling, you've made me so happy.
My mom came over and gave me a hug.
I've missed spending time with you. I'm happy you're going to come with me.
When the morning of my mom's appointment arrived, we set off in her car for the short drive into town. His office is on the corner opposite the post office.
Okay, we can park right outside then.
As we pulled up, I saw that the company had put up a golden sign on the wall outside the building. "Dr. Brown, specialist in all plastic surgeries." "This is the place right here." We knocked on the door, and when it opened, a man was standing there wearing a white coat.
Hello. You must be Marcia, and this is your mom?
"Yes, it is."
Well, come in then. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I want to get a rib removed to make my waist look smaller.
Well, yes, of course I can help you with that. But have you heard about the latest discovery in the field of plastic surgery?
No, I haven't. What is it?
The doctor told my mom all about this amazing new serum that would make you look 20 years younger than what you were.
That sounds like just what I need. Where can I get it?
Oh, I can order it for you, but you will need to pay the costs up front, and it is very expensive.
Oh, don't worry about the price. I will pay anything if it makes me look younger.
Mom handed over a huge bunch of dollar bills, and the doctor told her to come back the same day the following week to have the treatment. When we left his office, Mom was so happy.
I can't believe you have done this for me, Marcia. I can't wait for next week to get the treatment.
You're welcome, Mom. I just want you to be happy. The following week when my mom went for the treatment, she was so excited.
How long will it take for me to see the results of the serum?
Oh, it shouldn't take long. You'll probably wake up in the morning and not even recognize yourself in the mirror.
Wow, that's quick. I can't wait to see the results.
But what my mom saw when she looked in the mirror the next morning didn't make her happy at all. The sound of my mom screaming woke me up from a deep sleep.
Ah! What's happened to my face?
I jumped out of bed and ran towards the bathroom. What I saw when I got there made me gasp with shock. Mom, what happened? You look terrible.
It must have been that serum. Oh my God, I'm going to kill that doctor.
My mom's face and body was one big red rash, and she had huge hives breaking out everywhere.
I can't go out there looking like this. What will people think of me?
Maybe it'll calm down in a little while. Don't panic. I'm sure it's going to be fine. But it wasn't fine, and it didn't calm down. If anything, it started getting worse.
I'm swelling up now. Right, that's it. I'm going straight to the doctor's office, and I'm gonna make him do something about it.
Okay, Mom, I'll come with you.
Thank you, Marcia. You're such a good girl.
Mom and I drove straight to the doctor's office, but you wouldn't believe what we found when we got there. The whole place was empty. The sign had been taken off the building, and the doctor was nowhere to be seen. My mom gave a sigh of despair.
Oh, Marcia, I've got a feeling we've been scammed.
I think you might be right, Mom.
I can't believe I fell for it. I mean, sure, I've heard all the horror stories of bad plastic surgeons, but I never thought it would happen to me.
It's not your fault, Mom. He seems so genuine.
Well, I've learned my lesson. As far as I'm concerned, all plastic surgeons are scammers. I'm not going to do anything else to my face or body.
I think you've made the right decision, Mom. You don't want something like this happening to you again. I was so happy. Finally, my mom had come to her senses. She wasn't going to have any more crazy procedures done to herself. And I bet you're wondering what caused my mom's face and body to react so badly to the serum. Well, the serum was actually harmless. All it was some coconut oil. The reason she had all the rashes and hives was because I had secretly been sprinkling shellfish and seafood into all of her food when she wasn't looking. You see, my mom has a severe allergy to all shellfish. I knew that if I gave her enough of it in the days leading up to her appointment, she would be sure to break out in a rash. I'm so happy my plan worked. At least now, I won't have to be embarrassed by anything else my mom might do to herself.
Aliens were attacking me from all sides. There were hundreds of them. I dodged their bullets as best that I could, but there were too many of them. Bombs started raining down on top of me. I moved left and right, but eventually, there were too many and one hit me, blowing me into 1,000 pieces. I threw the video game controller at the wall in anger. It's so frustrating. I was nearly at the final section of the game. I looked at the wall and my heart dropped when I saw the damage I had done. Oh no, my parents are going to kill me! There was a hole in the wall where the controller had hit it. I went over to the wall to survey the damage. I was standing there wondering how I was going to explain it to my parents when I suddenly saw something that made my blood run cold. Through the door, I could see an eyeball staring back at me. But first, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, or you could end up with someone living in the wall of your house too. I let out a loud scream, then jumped back away from the wall. 10 seconds later, my parents were in my room.
What is it, Tara?
I pointed at the hole in the wall. Over there! Look!
How did you do that?
Never mind that. It's what's on the other side of that hole that matters.
What do you mean?
I saw an eye peering at me. There's someone there. My dad went over and inspected the hole.
But there's nothing there. You must have been hallucinating.
You've probably been playing too many video games. Just relax now and go to sleep.
There was. I know there was.
It's just your mind playing tricks on you. You just need to get some sleep.
I was really sure that I hadn't imagined it, but I agreed to go to sleep. But in the middle of the night, I woke up with a start. There was someone there. I could hear footsteps and breathing on the other side of the wall. My heart started beating so fast, and panic rose up inside me. I'm definitely not imagining this. There is someone there. Even though I was scared to death, I couldn't just lie there waiting for something to happen. I had to do something about it. I picked up my baseball bat and walked towards the hole. I looked through. I couldn't see anything. It was just darkness. I stood there for a moment, wondering what to do next. I knew that I couldn't live with the uncertainty, so I picked up my bat and swung it at the wall. Where there had been a small hole, there was now a huge opening. I crawled through it and found myself in a small room. The walls of the room were hollow. They were thin, but it was wide enough for a person to squeeze through. As I looked around the room, I could see clothes, a mattress, packets of food and water. On the wall, someone had scratched notes, as if they were counting off days? Months? Someone has been living here. Suddenly, I heard a noise. I looked to my left and saw a shadow of a person. I was petrified, but I didn't show it. Who is there? Come out, now! Before I knew what was happening, someone had lunged right at me. I managed to dodge out of his way before he could knock me to the floor. I swung my bat as hard as I could, but it was hard to see in the darkness, and unfortunately, I missed. The person jumped through the hole into my room. I tried to chase after him, but he was too fast, and I couldn't catch him. He jumped out of my bedroom window straight onto the tree outside and climbed down it. When I got to the window, I could just see him running off into the distance. I was so shocked, I just stood in my room and started screaming.
Tara, what is it? What's the matter?
There was someone here. We have to call the police.
Just calm down, okay?
Don't tell me I'm imagining it. I know what I saw. There was someone in my room and I'm going to tell the police.
No, Tara, that's not a good idea.
But he might be a criminal. We have to tell them.
No, Tara, we can't.
Why not?
Because we know that someone has been living here.
Well, that stopped me in my tracks. The last thing I expected my parents to say was that they knew someone had been there. What do you mean you know? Who is he?
It's Damien, and we put him there.
Who's Damien?
He's your older brother.
What? But I don't have a brother.
Yes, you do.
I don't understand.
Sit down and let us explain everything to you.
My parents told me that my older brother had been framed for murder when he was 18 years old and had been in jail ever since. Who framed him?
We don't know. We just know that Damien didn't do it. You were only a year old when it happened. That's why you don't remember.
But why didn't you ever tell me about him?
We thought it was best for you if you didn't know about him. It would have broken your heart to know you had a brother that you could never meet.
So how come he is here now?
About a month ago, we saw on the news that Damien had somehow managed to break out of jail. He turned up here one night when you were asleep.
He begged us to help him, so we agreed to keep him hidden in the walls of the house. When you broke through the wall, he probably thought it was the police coming after him, so he made a run for it.
I felt really guilty when my mom said that. Well, you would too, wouldn't you? My poor brother had been framed for something he hadn't done, and now, because of me, he was on the run again. I feel terrible.
It's not your fault. You didn't know who he was.
We have to try and find him.
Your mom and I will go and look for him. You stay here, just in case he comes back, okay?
Okay, Dad. I went downstairs and waited in the lounge. My parents hadn't been gone long when I heard a noise coming from outside. I went and opened the front door. Damien, is that you? I'm sorry I scared you. Please come back in. But it wasn't Damien. It was a man standing there. Someone I'd never seen before.
Where is Damien?
Damien? Sorry, I don't know any Damien.
Yes, you do. You just said his name.
Damn. The man started walking towards me. I backed into the lounge, but he kept on following me. Get out of here!
Just tell me where he is.
Stay away from me! I ran to the table and tried to grab my phone to call my parents, but the man realized what I was about to do and beat me to it. I felt something hit me on the side of the head, and the next thing I knew, I was losing consciousness. I opened my eyes and looked around me. I had no idea where I was. I tried to sit up, but I was tied to the bed. Then I noticed the man that had been at my house was standing over me. What do you want from me?
Tell me everything you know about Damien.
I don't know anything.
You'd better tell me now if you know what's good for you.
I didn't want to say anything, but I was so scared, I really thought he was going to hurt me. My brother was framed for a murder he didn't commit. He has spent a long time in jail doing time for someone else's murder.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Damien is innocent? That he didn't kill my brother?
What, so the victim was your brother? The man nodded at me. I'm so sorry. Really, I am. But Damien didn't do it. He was framed. Why did you bring me here? What are you going to do with me? The man admitted that he had kidnapped me to try to hold me as ransom to get to Damien.
I only wanted to get revenge on Damien, but now that I know he's innocent, everything changes. You don't need to worry about anything. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go.
He started to untie the ropes that were around my wrists when the door suddenly burst open and police came running in, closely followed by my parents. They grabbed hold of the man and put handcuffs on him.
You're under arrest.
Please don't arrest him. It's all been a misunderstanding.
It doesn't matter. He kidnapped you, and that's an offense.
He was just letting me go when you arrived. He wasn't going to hurt me.
He has still committed the crime.
There was nothing else I could say or do. I watched as the police took him away. My mom came over and hugged me.
Tara, we were so worried. Are you okay, darling?
Yes, I'm fine. I whispered in her ear. Where's Damien?
We don't know. We've looked everywhere, but there's no sign of him.
There was nothing else we could do but go home and wait. Days went by and we didn't hear or see anything of Damien. But then one day I was sitting in my bedroom all alone when I heard a tap at the window. I looked up and saw a face peering in at me. I was about to let out a loud scream, but I managed to calm myself when I realized that it was Damien. I ran over to the window and let him in. Come in, quick! Thank God you're all right. I'll go tell Mom and Dad.
Wait, get Mom, but not Dad, okay?
I didn't understand why he wouldn't want Dad to know he was there, but I did what he asked. Mom, can you come here for a minute, please? I need help with something. When my mom opened the bedroom door and saw Damien standing there, she let out a cry of delight.
Dame?
Shh!
Damien put his finger to his lips.
Don't say anything. There's something I need to tell you.
Mom and I looked at each other. We were so confused.
I figured out who it is that framed me for the murder.
Who was it?
It was Dad.
My mouth fell open in shock, but before Mom or I had a chance to say anything, we heard a voice behind us.
Well. So you figured it out, huh?
What? Is this true? Why would you do this? How could you? He's your son.
Oh, really? My son? Are you sure about that?
What's that supposed to mean?
I know that you cheated on me with another man. Damien isn't my son.
I stood there looking at my mom and my dad. Is this really happening right now? Is Damien really someone else's child?
When I found out who his real father was, I was furious. I couldn't control my anger. I murdered his biological father and framed Damien for it.
Oh my God, so that man's brother was actually Damien's biological father? My parents just stood there staring at each other. My mom was just as much in shock as I was. Suddenly, Damien started laughing his head off. We all turned to look at him, a curious look on our faces.
Why are you laughing? What's so funny?
He held out his phone.
I've got it all recorded, every word of your confession. It's all the evidence I need to get you sent to prison and for me to get pardoned.
What happened next was like something out of a movie playing in slow motion. My dad ran at Damien and knocked him to the floor. My mom started screaming.
Leave him alone. Don't hurt him.
I watched as my dad started punching at Damien. I knew I couldn't just stand by and watch as my dad attacked my brother. I grabbed hold of my bat and swung it hard. Dad fell to the floor in a heap. He was unconscious. Quick, Mom, call the police. Damien, get some rope and tie his hands together before he wakes up. Dad began to groan.
Let me go, or you're going to regret this.
You're not going anywhere. The police are on the way, and you're going to get what you deserve. When the police came in, they took one look at my dad and me with the bat in my hand.
What's going on here then?
We told the police the whole story. So you have to let Damien go now. He didn't have anything to do with the murder.
Well, that's for the judge to decide. But from the evidence you have on your phone, I'm sure that he will be acquitted.
It didn't take long for the courts to make their decision. My dad was sentenced for the murder and sent to jail. Damien was given an official pardon and released. Now the three of us are living together. Mom is happy that Damien is back, and I'm getting to know the brother I never knew I had.